Good evening, everyone. What's up? I just ate a satisfying meal and topped it off with a measly dessert. This is Mr. Hotta speaking. Previously, I did the third part to the 45 worst SpongeBob episodes. This is the fourth part. Sorry for the delay. There was just a lot of planning and preparation before this episode, so let's begin, shall we? Back to number 34, which was Spy Buddies from July 2007, Season 5. SpongeBob and Patrick are the worst spies ever. Gosh, they can't do anything right, especially Patrick. Patrick is the worst spy ever. That episode absolutely made no sense at all. This ending was so confusing. Why are the characters even disguised for? The mission had absolutely nothing to do with the purpose of the plot. This was the most confusing episode out of all the episodes in the entire series. Number 33 is To Square Pants or Not to Square Pants from Season 6, 2009. I think it was July. It's laundry day. Patrick calls SpongeBob, annoying him with a noise for perhaps hours. That's, I think, what Patrick was trying to make. I honestly can't copy it, so let's get back to it. Why didn't SpongeBob tell Patrick to shut up? That's a good question right there. By the time Patrick finally shuts up, all of SpongeBob's pants have shrunk and he must get new ones. There won't be a shipment of square pants for months, so he must get round ones. Thin-witted Patrick does not recognize SpongeBob due to the absence of his square pants. How does he not recognize SpongeBob? Just look at his face, you moron. It was all his fault that SpongeBob does not have square pants. Neither Sandy or Squidward recognize him. Neither does one of the townspeople. For some reason, Patrick is at SpongeBob's home, still unable to recognize him. SpongeBob starts over and does nothing but follow Squidward all day long at the Krusty Krab. He copies just about everything Squidward does, doing a lot of bad things he would never do, such as being rude to customers. However, Mr. Krabs is the only one who is not dimwit in this episode and knows it's SpongeBob, forcing him to remove his pants. Sandy later calls him SpongeBob Underpants and he screams. How is SpongeBob not recognizable? That does not make sense. Like many things, it was all Patrick's fault. His self-absorbed behavior seemed to be more important than SpongeBob's pants. Some friend he is. I wouldn't even call him a friend. He doesn't even have any friends, Patrick. Well, he doesn't deserve to, anyway. Number 32 is or was indeed a hard choice, but has been chosen to be 3, 2, 1. Greasy Buffoons from Season 6, November 2009. SpongeBob has to make kelp fries for a customer, but ended up slipping in a mess of a grease slick. Apparently, Mr. Krabs was too lazy to clean up the grease. And it must be cleaned up. It had to be disposed of somewhere, so instead of going to the dump, lazy Mr. Krabs dumps the grease in Plankton's property. Hey, isn't that illegal? Last time I checked it was. According to Plankton, after slipping, the grease reeks, but it tastes so good. Consequently, he made chunky patties from it, which were profitable. After Mr. Krabs finds this out, and back at work, SpongeBob must use 2 patties instead of 1. The other patty was for its excess grease, which is a waste of a patty. The new so-called deluxe Krabby Patties are on the menu. Plankton wants vengeance on Krabs. Just for that, in retaliation, he makes fatty burgers. Back at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob accidentally drops buns into the fatty grease for an hour, making quote-unquote wow buns. Then the Krusty Krab serves, what on earth, pure grease on a paper plate, also known as that so-called wow soup. Wow. That so-called soup was nothing but pure fatty grease. Mr. Krabs is serving all of his loyal customers a plate of pure grease fat. Who does that? From eating so much pure fat, all the customers get so sick, even dumb old Patrick, making SpongeBob so worried that he has had it enough to call the health inspector. Who cares about Patrick? Let him suffer. Let him be sick. Who cares if he dies even? When the health inspector arrives, he orders Krabs and Plankton to clean up the grease or the restaurants will be shut down due to breaking the health codes. While Mr. Krabs sleeps around and does nothing, SpongeBob soaks up all the grease. Patrick comes and licks off the grease off SpongeBob even though he was told strictly not to do so. That was so unsanitary. How on earth did all the customers buy so much of that stuff? Number 31 is Mr. Krabs Takes a Vacation from 2011, Season 8. One of those vacation episodes. This is the second time one sees Mr. Krabs go on a vacation in the entire series. The last time was Clams from Season 3, 2002. So there was a 9-year gap. For the first time in a long time, a very long time, extremely long time, Mr. Krabs decides to go on a short vacation and invites SpongeBob to come along. Pearl was so excited, but not when SpongeBob tagged along. Meanwhile, Squidward is very happy to be alone for once, but is bothered by Patrick, who's laughing. SpongeBob has to go to the bathroom, but while so, the family passes a few attractions, notably a mall and amusement park. The destination that was chosen by Mr. Krabs is the Mint, where all the money is made. Pearl refuses to go in. A guy named Bill, get it, Bill? The money Bill is a tour guide and guides him through the money process. When Mr. Krabs goes insane, as he sees money, SpongeBob saves him. After that incident, Mr. Krabs throws a big temper tantrum after seeing money being destroyed. To settle this situation, SpongeBob quickly explains that old money is reused, and they are almost kicked out by Bill that quick. Bill is nothing but a jerk without tolerance. Man, he is so unlikable. Out of nowhere, criminals steal money but are quickly stopped by Mr. Krabs. As a reward, he's given a priceless dollar bill, but is stolen by Pearl for some lame old shoes. Way to ruin an episode, writers. Mr. Krabs throws another big temper tantrum. Way to badly end an episode. The end. Overall, that was kind of a boring episode, and that was not a vacation. A vacation would have to be at least an hour long of an episode. He would have to. He didn't stay at a hotel, and it was just a trip to a museum. That was all it was. Pearl is so bratty and burdensome. No wonder why she's so unlikable. Boy, I actually felt sorry for Mr. Krabs. This episode was way too short to be called a vacation. That's all I have to say for this video. We are going to hit the top 30 next video. So, anyway, it's getting late. I gotta go to bed. See you on my next video, part 5. Good night. Yeah, good night. Top 30, here we come. Good night.